Peter Strzok's congressional testimony was an insult to America. Wow. I watched that hearing yesterday. Peter Strzok, the disgraced FBI agent who, of course, sent his mistress 50,000 text messages, many of which were negative about Donald Trump, hateful, testful about Donald Trump, even admitted under oath that he was rooting for Hillary Clinton, admitted under oath yesterday that he was rooting for Hillary Clinton and detested, his word, Donald Trump. Peter Strzok's a horrible, horrible guy. Terrible guy. But a couple of takeaways from the hearing. Number one, the Democrats proved themselves to be the world's worst obstructionists. The initial standoff between House Judiciary Committee Chairman, Republican Bob Goodlatte, and ranking Democratic member on the committee, Gerald Nadler from New York, was disgraceful, with Nadler running interference and essentially telling America, Peter Strzok, and every other witness brought before Congress that even under congressional subpoena, you don't have to answer questions. There's nothing Congress can do. Nadler cut the knees off of his own legislative body yesterday. It was terrible. It was terrible. Another takeaway was Strzok's defiance and arrogance, and how Strzok would be defiant to Republicans, but not to Democrats. Well, that came back to bite him in the butt when he decided to answer questions about ongoing investigations for Democrat Sheila Jackson Lee right at the end of the first session, before they went to the lunch break, when he answered questions for Democrat Sheila Jackson Lee about things for which he wouldn't answer Republicans' questions. Well, the Republicans weren't having it. So during that break, Representative Trey Gowdy got in touch with the FBI and found out that Strzok could, in fact, answer questions about how many interviews were conducted for Robert Mueller during certain time periods. But what did Strzok do at that point? After refusing to answer them in the first session, even though he was under subpoena, he said he wasn't, but he was. He claimed he didn't know because he didn't have time to go get the information. And he was openly defiant and arrogant and rude, but then again, started answering questions for Democrats. One of the best moments came when Representative Louis Gohmert from Texas decided to say to Strzok what America wanted said to Strzok. Why, and I'll paraphrase, why should we believe you with that smirk on your face? You probably had the same smirk on your face when you were laying in bed looking at your wife. Of course, referring to the fact that we found all this out about Strzok because he was having an extramarital affair with FBI lawyer Lisa Page. Now, Lisa Page is set to testify today in a closed-door meeting on Capitol Hill, which is exactly why Democrats and Peter Strzok were making those ridiculous motions to have Strzok's closed-door testimony to Congress released. The reason they wanted to do that, it's a legal and investigative tactic. They wanted to be able to have Lisa Page get access to that information to prepare for her testimony this morning to make sure that she and Strzok were on the same page, that she didn't say anything under oath that he said under oath, and vice versa. Now, if I were Lisa Page, I would simply plead the fifth. There's nothing that can be done to Lisa Page. Lisa Page is no longer an FBI employee. She can't be fired, and she's not being accused of anything criminal. Texting your boyfriend behind your husband's back and hating on a political candidate isn't illegal. It's improper. It's unethical. What they were doing was immoral, but none of it's illegal. So from a legal standpoint, Lisa Page has no downside to going in before Congress today in the closed-door meeting and saying, I plead the fifth, I plead the fifth, I plead the fifth. Who wouldn't? There's not a damn thing anyone can do to her. She's not suspected of anything criminal, not under investigation for anything criminal, and it's her constitutional right to do so. Quite frankly, she'd be stupid to do anything else. But yesterday really, really highlighted a bigger issue. Democrats really are partisan hacks. They don't care about transparency. They don't care about justice. They care about a police state in which federal law enforcement and intelligence agencies are weaponized to help certain political candidates over others. That's the stuff of Orwell. That's Soviet-era communist Russia. That's Romania, 1968. That's not America. That's not America. But America saw this. America saw what happened yesterday. And I truly, truly believe what happened yesterday hurt DOJ, FBI, Jeff Sessions, Christopher Wray, showed that DOJ and FBI have no leadership. Jeff Sessions has to go. Christopher Wray has to go. Rod Rosenstein has to go. But more importantly, it really hurt the credibility of the Democratic Party. They were seen yesterday, even by moderate and conservative Democrats, as obstructionist hacks that care less about justice and more about partisan politics. We're going to be following the developments with Strzok and Page. We'll be talking about it a lot more on Monday. And we're going to be talking about this quite a bit on Monday on my live show, my new live show on the Rebels YouTube channel, the Classified Live, 7:30 a.m. Eastern every morning, Monday through Friday, 7:30 Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. Join me. We get into all this. Better yet, you can chat. You can live chat with me via the browser, and I take your questions for the second half hour of the show. An hour show, I take your questions for the second half hour. So join me Monday morning, 7:30 a.m. You have an amazing weekend, and I'll see you then.